you.
God bless your soul over there. Hello, welcome to McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk. I'm Pat McAfee, the first half of McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk. To my left, a handsome man with a shovel face, looks extra shovelly today, AJ Hawk.
What's up, Pat? How you doing? You get out of bed all right this morning?
I felt good this morning. I woke up this morning, I felt good. I was up in Adam, 6:45, body weight squats in the bathroom so I can get a grumpy out of me, and I'm going to start my day. Took a nice cold shower this morning. Maybe that was a little, change it up a little bit, maybe a little cold shower, like that Wim Hof guy. Guy, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know Wim Hof. Yeah, he's great.
Is he? I've tried my best to do his breathing things, but he says you can hop into an ice cold water and you won't change at all.
Yeah, or you know what you should do is it's kind of like a fad thing going around. Wim Hof says like to ease into the cold water situation because Wim swims underneath the ice. He does all kind of stuff. Is just end your shower with like a minute of as cold as your shower will go.
I didn't get that message. I went for 5 minutes in the chilly water there. Lost the guy downstairs a little bit. Had to bring him back to life. But I feel good. Great day today for a good sports talk with AJ Hawk. A lot of things circulating in the news world, AJ. Kirk Herbstreit, our boy, and Chris Fowler, that push for them to get Monday Night Football is a real one, and I think it's actually going to happen. AJ, how do you feel about it? We talked to Kirk last week about it. He said he loves college football. He likes the NFL, but he loves college football. It's his dream job. He has it. He said even if he does Monday Night Football, he will stay with the college football ranks. I think there's a lot of college fans that are scared they're going to get a different crew, a different duo, because they love Fowler and Herbstreit. And from what Herbstreit told us, that is not the case. Even if he does get Monday Night Football, he's saying he'll still do college. That's a long weekend for Herbie, but if anybody can pull it off, I'd assume it's he and Fowler.
Yeah, he could do it. Kirk kind of does everything. He has a crazy schedule going from game day and then a lot of times flying to the nationally, like the biggest national game that he does every single Saturday night. But I think when you see people online that are like upset about this, that they're rumored to be there, isn't it just college fans that are worried they're going to lose Kirk and Fowler from the college game?
100%. It's because, I mean, Fowler and Kirk do a great job on that Saturday night game. I think the college football fans are smart. They've looked around at other, presentations of the game and maybe other college football announcers, and they've been like, hey, these two have been a god. One person I saw say they're a godsend to college, a godsend to a godlike culture, which is the college football. So I think Kirk loves it because he's not only great at it, but he loves college football. And I think Fowler is obviously that guy who just does so great with Kirk. If they were to pick up Monday Night Football, I think all of a sudden ESPN has a key number one booth that they could potentially viably get another Super Bowl, because that's a big deal for the Super Bowl bidding with which network has a booth that could handle the billions and billions, maybe not that much, but hundreds of millions of people that are watching worldwide. You don't want to embarrass the network with a booth that isn't up to snuff. And I think that is a booth that could potentially land a Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I think they're good. I think they would be great at it.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting transition for Kirk. I mean, obviously he still says he wants to do all of his college games, but like he told us on this show, like, I love college football. Like, he absolutely is obsessed with college football. He says, I like NFL football. He watches for guys that he knows and whatever, but he doesn't, I guess right now, could completely love the NFL like he does college. I think if he actually got that Monday night game, he would probably grow to really love the NFL game as well. And if ESPN or anyone else is worried that he wouldn't do a good job, I mean, I don't think that's an actual, like, we know how professional Kirk and Fowler are. Like, they're gonna put on a good presentation, whether people like it or not. I don't know, but they're still, man, they're really going round and round trying to figure out that Monday night booth,
dude. First it was Jason Witten. We got our guy, Dallas Cowboy. Then it was Booger. And for whatever the reason, not because of me, but people said things, he's out. Then they try to make a play for Tony Romo. Who's the hot
They're not out yet, though. Booger and Tess are still technically in the booth. Like, they haven't told them they're gone.
Nah, come on.
They know it. It's a weird spot for them. I agree. It has to be really
Come
weird
on.
for both of them.
AJ, don't be a stupid.
You're pulling out of air.
I'm not saying they're coming back. I'm saying they're not. They haven't technically booted them from the Monday night booth yet.
If I'm Booger McFarland and Joe Tessitore, and after trying to get Tony Romo, they're going to pay him $16, $17 million, and then trying to trade for Al Michaels and get Peyton and Drew Brees, and now it's just
offer Drew Brees a contract next year or the year after.
Whenever
that.
he retires.
Anytime you retire, Drew, this job is sitting here waiting for you, making $10 million a year.
If we're at this point, if you're Booger McFarland, now granted, there'll probably be, I mean, granted, who knows what's going to happen with this thing. I mean, there's been weirder things, but it'll be a new booth, I'd assume, to be the stopgap in between whenever Drew Brees is supposed to come. And if it's Herbie and Fowler, by the way, that's a good stopgap because they can just go back to college football whenever you get Drew Brees. And who's saying Drew Brees is going to be great? We like Drew Brees a lot. I like Drew Brees a lot. Ty's opinions withheld here. But who knows if Drew Brees is going to be great or want to do it 2 years, 3 years down the road from now. That would be. But if Booger and Tess are up there for that first opening week, after all of this that has happened, if I'm Booger McFarland and I get on that telestrator, I'm drawing a big dick and telling everybody to go fuck themselves. I'm literally, I think I'm even saying it. Like, come on, man, get the hell out of here. I mean, you guys have, fans' reaction to Booger McFarland and Joe Tessitore's booth was not what my reaction. I thought they were a good booth. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good games, but a lot of people said that they did not enjoy it, which is why we're in the situation that we're currently in. But if I'm Booger McFarland, I've already been buried on the internet. Now you're doing a whole do-si-do, throwing up $20 million a year potentially to other people who've never done this gig before. And then I just fall back in. It'll be very interesting. I think it'll just be very interesting if I'm Booger McFarland. By the way, Booger McFarland, Joe Tessitore, much more professional than I am. That's probably why I'll never get the gig. But if they do it, they'll go out there and do another great job. Maybe people won't like it. But that is a wild scene that you can't find somebody to fill the Monday Night Football booth. That is a crazy time.
They can't. They have multiple ESPN employees that they could put in there. I guess they're just trying to find out what the right fit is. That you got to have, like Louis Riddick is a guy that's openly tried to get the gig, but does Louis not have the name value that they need? Dan Orlovsky would do a great job, but he doesn't have the name value they need. Like it has to be like a big blockbuster name for that Monday night gig, I guess.
Keep going. Who's after
AJ,
Dan?
what about another? I'm not really an ESPN employee.
You told me you're not. You told me you're like an independent contractor with ESPN. That's the only reason I didn't add you in. Pat,
That's
obviously
real.
you're my number one choice to be the color analyst for Monday Night Football.
AJ, I want you to be next to me, by the way.
I don't want a three-man booth. I don't think that's. I don't
Why?
like three-man booth. I just think it's too much. Maybe in the NFL you can do three-man because there's more time in between plays, but three-man college booths, as you know, you worked, but you have a good relationship with Hasselbeck and Adam, so you guys can work it out. But, you know, a lot of times in the college games, there's like 12, 15 seconds between plays. Like, there's not enough time for all three guys to chirp in and say something.
Well, imagine whenever you're also on a what's it called? What was it called? Remy, which is a remote broadcast, which means the production is being done back in Connecticut. So they're sending the stream.
Is that what your Thursday night games were?
Oh, yeah. So they send it there. So the TVs that are in front of you are actually 6 seconds behind. Like, so you can't look at the TVs. You can only call what's happening on the field. And then if they go to a replay, you can't see it because if you're talking,
serious? That's how they do the remotes work like that. I've never done a remote like that.
Can't look at the TV. The TV's 6 seconds behind you. Like it's you can't. You literally can only call from what you're seeing. I'm a reactionary guy too, by the way. So it's like, you know, the replays I really thought would be my strong suit because the little things I'd notice in the background would be like, all right, this is where I'm going to crush. And they're like, oh, by the way, about the replays, you won't see them. You'll just have to we'll tell you what the play was and you'll have to voice over. It's like, whoa.
Do you remember we almost did a Zito production where you FaceTimed to the truck to try to get the live feed? Like, that's the only way you could have got a live feed.
Legit, if we were to FaceTime, so I was trying to... They've been doing this for a couple years because it saves a lot of money. They don't have to have trucks at the thing. It saves like an abundance of cash. And the show can go on the road, by the way. And by the way, I think it's a very smart business move to do so because I heard the exact amount of money that they've saved with it. I was like, yeah, that's a smart move to do it. But as a commentator, it's tough. It is a tough scene out there because the only place I've learned, because I got, you know, rejected from the broadcast boot camp 3 times. The only place I really learned how to do commentary was from Michael Cole in the WWE. And they only commentate off of the screen. They like, hey, what people are seeing is what you should be talking about. So here is what you should be talking about. And this was the complete opposite. Like, don't even look at the screen. Who cares what they're seeing because you're 6 seconds ahead of them anyway.
You shouldn't even have the screen in front of you then if it's 6 seconds delayed. There's always like a program monitor that is going out to this is what the people see on TV. So you had a program monitor, but it was 6 seconds delayed because of the feed?
Yeah. So you could see it like for rules or something like that. You know, like if it was a close catch and went to review, we could still watch it, right? We could still watch it, but we would be behind. So it'd be interesting because everybody at home potentially could see that it was a catch, and then you go right behind them like, oh, it's definitely a catch. And they're like, yeah, you idiot. Like we got that like 5. Well, you literally couldn't see it. So that was an interesting. I've learned a lot about this world. Honestly, I've learned a lot about.
Well, you guys did a good job because I watched it and I did not know that it was a remote broadcast. I know a lot of different sports are going to that. There's full remote broadcast that they've tried to where the play-by-play and the color analysts like are in a booth in Connecticut for NBC or whatever, and they're watching on screens, just doing it from there.
Yeah, they do that with a lot of international coverage too, right? Like international coverage, you just watch the stream and commentate it, and then it's kind of sent out all over the place. Interesting stuff. No telestrator, obviously, and you can't, with those streams where you're just talking over the stream, you can't control the replay and ask for shots and stuff like that, which we could still do. But that's, I mean, I was real excited for the telestrator, no telestrator. I was real excited for a telestrator on a replay too. Let's check out this guy in the background. So
did you guys not use a telestrator?
No telestrator.
I had a telestrator in high school games. I did.
Not everyone.
I don't know why. I mean, I get they've got to be able to find a way to remote broadcast that, but let you still kind of have everything you need to.
Well, you'd be drawing on something. The time, because it
was already passed.
It sends, and then it sends it back to wherever you're at. So, like when we're in Stanford, that was getting sent to Connecticut and then back to us, and that's what we were seeing. It's insane how technology works. It makes no sense.
Yeah, especially in the year 2020 right now, they got to find a way to cut that 6-second delay down.
2019.
Not to mention
doing the games.
Yeah.
You guys were in a booth the size of a porta potty every single week.
Yeah, there was a couple really small booths.
No air conditioning, 3 of you.
It was tight up there. Hey, you know what though? I got a chance to call games on ESPN. That's a pretty awesome moment. Mm-hmm. Probably never do it again.
Nah, I bet you will. They need you a lot more than you need them, Pat.
You know, that's what you would think, AJ. But that's just not the case. How do you feel about the MLB making a turn here and making a play, trying to make Phoenix, Arizona a biodome like old Weasel used to have?
What a good movie.
Great movie. I watched that movie. I love that movie too. You ever seen the movie The Pest?
No.
Oh, Dana White started to do that, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the MLB, I like the MLB trying to make this happen. I really like what they're trying to do. Basically, in their concept, and there has to be a lot of things that have to happen for this to happen. They said there has to be a plentiful amount of tests so that they don't feel like assholes whenever they're taking tests because they're going to have to test their players. So they have to get to a point where there's a lot of tests and everything like that. They want all their players of every team to go to Phoenix, Arizona, and then with all the stadiums that they have, because spring training's out there, the players will show up at the stadiums, play the games, and go right back to their apartments. They're in quarantine away from everybody, basically, except for baseball, and they'd obviously broadcast that and everything. I like that they're trying to figure out ideas to kind of make their season work while this is all happening, but I'm just not sure it's ever going to happen, because if we're ever at the point where we have enough tests and everything's calmed down, you would think the regular world would be back into it. But I like that the MLB is trying to be forward-thinking here. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's good that they're trying to come up with a plan because none of us know when anything is going to happen, when restrictions are going to be backed off a little bit. But it made me think about these players and managers and coaches and everybody. And even so, the people broadcasting the game are living in quarantine as well. So it's all like their own little city where all these guys live together.
It might be what you were talking about that last time, where a stream comes to somebody in their house and they're just commentating over top of it and it's going out. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but the cameramen have to be there. They're going to have to live in quarantine.
Yep.
Unless they somehow find a way to do all remote cameras, which that's not going to happen. There's a few of them, but you can't have every camera be remote.
I guess there's like 10 stadiums out there, they said. They would have been able to do it. I just don't see how. I
just think about the players. So the players, you got to go back to basically living in college, can you imagine, like, after a while, I would think it would get kind of wild and get kind of weird with those guys all living so close to one another, not really being able to have their family come in and out. Like, how does it work? Does anyone go with them, or is it just strictly the players and support staff?
Passan, what's his name?
Jeff Passan. Yeah.
Jeff Passan, the baseball guy with a good hair on ESPN. He looks like he's 12, but I guess he's a big-time MLB guy. He said that one particular player he was texting with, he pitched this idea to the player and asked him how he'd be. And the player said, I'm supposed to leave my family during a pandemic. That is not something I would really be up for. I'm being locked away from my family, going to Phoenix.
For 6 months, too.
Yeah, for a long time.
4.
Yeah,
Four and a half.
Four and a half. But anyways, he's saying that they'll get locked away. And Jeff Passan or whatever was like, okay, thank you or whatever. And then the next morning, that same player texted him back and said his wife said, hey, if that's what it's going to take for you to go, make a living for our family, go and do that. So he texted back like, I am in, by the way. So it was one of these situations where I think whenever you cross that bridge when it comes, there's going to be a lot of big decisions that players are going to have to make here with their families. And a lot of these guys are international and everything like that. I mean, I like the thought, though, that the commissioners all had a call with the president this weekend. And then this week, a lot of announcements have been made, right? The only people that have been kind of slow on an announcement is the NBA. They're saying, well, we're not making a decision until May 1st. Dana White's like, nope, we're still having fights. We're going to be back on as of April 18th. I'm buying a private island, and we're going to put 2 human cockfighters in there, and they're going to fight. Then you see the NFL is like, we're doing this, and we should be good to go by September. WWE's still going. So I think there was a message of like, hey, let's try to get things back to normal here any way possible. And I think this was the MLB's idea of that.
Yeah, and then
I give him credit. No, you got it. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, I was gonna say, and then like they're potentially adding things that might change the game forever. Like they'll do electric strike zone so that the umpire doesn't have to be as close to like the catcher and stuff like that. And then on-field mics with the players will be mic'd like they were doing during spring training, like for TV. And then
That should always happen. I think that should be in baseball forever.
The strike zone?
I'm saying mic up some players. Why not?
Did we create that? No, we didn't create that. They did that before us.
Yeah.
At the All-Star game.
Yeah,
When they do it in the All-Star game, who was it? There's a guy
Awesome.
he's got an earpiece in. He's in the outfield. He's being interviewed by A-Rod or something, and a fly ball comes to him. He's got to go catch this ball in the middle of an interview. Like,
We didn't
I know guys wouldn't really be willing to do that as much. They don't want to do interviews during a regular season game, I'm sure. But I would assume some guys would be okay being mic'd up.
Dude, we did that for an entire comedic sports documentary. The entire thing. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw it. You were good. It was fun seeing your interactions with everybody.
But that's what I'm saying. I think to watch it, take out the fact that obviously I was electric and incredibly athletic and all this in a sport that I had never, ever, ever attempted before, playing against a guy that was drafted to the fucking Royals, whatever the case, right? Take that out. I think it was an entertaining way to watch baseball. If you were to get somebody of influence and actually good at baseball to hear, maybe they're talking to themselves right away. Not a bad thing to get that little insider insight there. I think that's good for baseball, and I'm happy to see them kind of pick that up a little bit. They were doing it this year a lot. I think guy hit a dinger for the Cubs or whatever, wild mic'd up, and I think he even predicted it was going to happen. I mean, it was like there's a lot of content moments. Now, granted, the MLB would have to open up their content restrictions that they have on everybody if they really want to grow the sport back to being a somewhat relevant sport, aside from whenever they just have catastrophes in PR happen. But I think that's a good idea in that the electronic strike zone. That seems like a no-brainer.
Should have been there for a
while.
while.
That seems like now. Granted, I'm not a
We
baseball
already have
guy.
it on TV. Like they already show it on TV though. Like the electronic strike zone.
But I think these baseball purists, like they like the potential of an umpire's strike zone moving and playing the zone and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. And even like the K zone or whatever that they put up, like because like the umpires aren't always calling that, you know. It's like, I mean, that is like a big part of the game, like pitching to a guy, like where the guy establishes the zone.
Yeah, like baseball has all these, unwritten rules, and one of them is if the big fat stooge standing behind the catcher doesn't know what the fucking strike zone is, let's abuse that and throw him way outside, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, or this guy's strike zone is tiny and he's letting I think that's a part of the game that they enjoy. A part of the game that I enjoy is whenever they're all taking steroids and hitting baseballs out of the planet Earth. I don't know.
So if this doesn't, let's say the Arizona thing doesn't happen, it seems like one of the only spots, maybe somewhere in Florida, they can make it happen. I know there's a lot of spring training down there. There's enough fields. I don't know. But if it doesn't happen, let's say Phoenix falls through, do they have to go find a way to lease a private island for 4.5 months and quarantine the whole league right there like Dana White is?
Hey, that's what OGs do. Hey, that's what billionaires who have a good time are doing. I mean,
is it Epstein's Island that they're going to be fighting on, you think?
They do have baseball fields there.
Do they?
What?
I'd probably just guess.
Connor, this guy.
Big baseball.
What?
I mean,
I'm just guessing.
He has an open microphone back there, and sometimes
Don't know why.
things just slip. Well, because your brain is a magical one, but sometimes you say things that are just,
I didn't see any baseball fields when I watched the drone footage. That they
You saw drone footage?
somebody.
What?
Oh, there's drone footage of Epstein's Island. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. He's got that weird looking like elevator looking building on there. There's all kinds of stuff. I wonder where that island goes now, or I guess the government of where is it? The British Virgin Islands somewhere? Do
You
they
tell
own
me.
it? Like who owns it right now?
I have no idea.
He's living there.
I didn't know there was a drone shot.
Hold
of
on,
this
did
boy.
Ty just say he's living there?
Who, Epstein?
Yeah.
Oh, Ty just said he's not dead.
In the bunker.
That's what Ty just said.
Oh.
You know it.
I don't think we can show it.
Ty said it. What, the drone footage?
Yeah, it's from like CBS.
Can't you show like screenshots?
Oh, I guess.
There's drone footage of them like raiding his house.
Have you seen the drone footage of Bieber's house?
Bieber?
So that's not Bieber's house, right? That's Epstein's Island.
Epstein, yes.
You could see where they put the octagon.
That is
Man, I've always thought about like retiring and getting an island. That's literally my dream, is getting an island.
Well, if that one, if they fight it out with the Epstein estate and the government,
I'm not gonna
maybe
buy
that-
the Epstein
You get that
Island.
one on the cheap.
Dana did not go to the Epstein Island. There's no way that Dana White got. But there are a lot of islands for sale if you want to ever snoop around and create new goals and dreams for yourself. And there's a lot of them that have water and electricity set up on it. They're just looking for a new owner, right? Maybe it's a resort business that went under, or maybe it was set up for somebody else and something else, and it just kind of went under. He said that they have to get the necessary
Infrastructure.
set up, which I think is where the octagon would be, where they would fight.
Well, it depends where they're going. Like, does the island? I would assume the island he is looking at already has power, already has water, because
Yes.
it's April 7th right now. This monster fight is supposed to happen on April 18th, so it has to have all that. I guess, yeah. Go set up the octagon, maybe put a couple little trailers up for the fighters to get ready in, like their little green room / locker room. I don't know, but he does not have a whole lot of time, especially since he says, as of right now, he's finalizing the deal, but it's not 100%
I
signed
feel like
and
he's had this
sealed.
island.
I don't think he's had the island.
He had to.
Why would he lie?
I don't think he's had the island.
sitting on an island.
I think he had the venue that he's talking about for the American fights. I think that was in the basement of the UFC building out in Vegas, because they have a cage set up. I've been in there. They have a cage set up in there. They have an entire training facility. I think it's potentially coming from literally their basement.
Like the performance center in the WWE.
Exactly. I think that is happening. Just like what Vince McMahon did. Dana White is the modern day Vince McMahon whenever he's talking about building up a sport through promotions and everything. Like Dana White, him and Vince McMahon are eerily similar individuals in the way they run their business, even to the point where Dana White is done with most media people. I mean, he is just completely done with them. And I think that's why whenever any piece of information comes out like this, he is just a OG, man. Just like, yeah, well, we were told we couldn't fly the international fighters into America, so I am looking to secure a private island that I already have. Like, just think about the dry erase board in his office, okay? He's like, all right, so we can't get him fucking in. All right, so let's just jot that one out. Can't get him in. Just got off the phone with the president. Can't go in. Just can't get him in. And then it was either him or something like, just get an island. Just buy an island. And then he's telling one of his assistants, Google islands for sale. Finds an island for sale. He's like, bingo, buy it tomorrow. I'll sell this piece of painting that I bought for $100 million. Buy the island. Let's set up the damn thing. He probably had to recheck back with the government, by the way. Like, hey, I can buy an island and have these people fight on this island. That has nothing to do with anything. Trump's like, you can do whatever you need to do. So you get Vinci Island. We're going to have fights in our basement, fights on these private islands. I love this move. Now, granted, whenever we posted a video earlier from me saying that I love this move by Dana White, just saying, fuck everybody. I am getting a private island. It's Dana White land. That's where it's a country where I make the rules. We can import, export, whatever the hell we want. Mostly human cockfighters coming in and out. We're just going to have this pest-like island where people are going to go fight at and sell it. I thought that was a legendary move. Not everybody agrees with me. There's a lot of people that do not love this decision by Dana White. There's a lot of people that are like, hey, instead of buying islands, why don't you donate that money to hopefully find a cure or an end to COVID-19? Instead of doing this, why don't you do that? But I do believe that Dana White feels exactly how we feel when we do our show every day, and the WWE feels, aside from, I would assume in Dana, in that mega conglomerate billion-dollar company world, there is business to it. I feel like he feels as if MMA and UFC can be an escape for people, and he thinks that his people deserve a little bit of an escape whenever the mixed martial arts come back to life, and that's why he wants to make it happen. Or it could 100% be just because he's a businessman looking to run his business while this is all going on.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to buy the private island. I don't know if that's if we know for sure if he bought it or not. He just has to lease it for a little bit, like however long.
Is that how you do it? Is that how you do it? You just lease private islands?
That's what I would do if I was Dana until everything cleared up. And then if you want to keep it, maybe make an offer to whoever owns the island once this COVID-19 gets all situated. But what else? Another option I heard floated out there, it seems crazy, but now when you hear Dana talking about going to a private island, I've heard like, hey, one of these like these Saudi oil princes that have billions and billions of dollars, maybe they'll bankroll you to go fight like out in international waters somewhere on some big oil tanker or some big old yacht. Like I've heard that out there too.
On an oil rig.
Oh, imagine hitting one of them waves while you're going in for a double leg.
Well, they play basketball on a big tanker or whatever. I guess it's in port when they do it.
Guys couldn't make shit too.
Nope.
They couldn't make a single shot. Now, granted, it was college basketball. It's kind of the way it goes. But the guys who were supposed to be good shooters weren't even good shooters because whenever the back is just the sea,
A little windy above deck.
Yeah.
I will say I'm looking online for private islands. There is some ones you could rent. They're very, very nice. Like, you could probably,
For how much?
They show recent sales. This is for sale. 95 mil. There's no electric.
Can you pump it up on the screen?
95 mil with no electric?
Yeah, like
For
There's
rent?
cheaper ones too, though. There's islands.
Maybe it's Necker Island where Richard Branson from Virgin Airlines and Virgin everything. Maybe it's Necker Island. I know he bought an island years and years ago, and now he's developed it. And it's super nice for him and his family, people to use. But
World
maybe he and
Islands.
Dana are tight.
What's the Tavaoni?
On the right.
The one down there that has a pool already set up. That one has a resort and spa. It has electricity, 8.1 acres.
How much is that?
You have to inquire.
I think was
It's in Fiji. It's a long
Price
flight.
upon request.
Yeah, but there's islands off of like Maine and
I saw that.
you know what I mean?
But is that still
But there's
part
nothing
of-
there for you though. You got to bring everything in.
I've
You
looked
gotta-
into islands.
generators.
I'm
water,
telling you,
all of that.
There is very affordable islands that have all of that set up. The only thing that's worried me is their Wi-Fi capabilities, which Dana White will have to have, by the way, because if he's going to broadcast this to the world, that will be the most. Maybe that's the infrastructure I was talking
They
about.
probably
Yeah,
have-
exactly.
They probably have satellite.
Set
right?
up the
Is he going to be able to
servers.
make money doing this though, Pat?
Satellite. What?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to make money doing this? I mean, he's still paying the fighters. He doesn't have any gate. Like, you don't have the 12, 15,000 people paying to buy tickets to the event. Now, the one thing
He
that
has
I
that
question a
ESPN
bit,
Plus deal, right?
this
I was
thing is
gonna say,
a
isn't all
pay-per-view
their
event,
revenue-
though, April 18th. Don't you think that's a bit weird? He's making it a pay-per-view and not just letting you stream it if you have ESPN Plus or whatever?
Well, I mean, that would kind of go against what I just said there about, just trying to be an escape for people. But WWE at WrestleMania, people were paying for. I guess the network was free.
But WrestleMania is once a year. The UFC has fights almost every weekend now.
Well,
some
that's
of them are big ones are pay-per-view, others aren't.
Well, that's the plan going forward, right? He's going to have fights every single week. I would assume they're not all going to be pay. Are the ones from his basement going to be pay-per-views?
No, they won't all
no
be. This
way.
is just Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje are such monsters. It's going to be a pay-per-view. That's
I
why.
don't know who these
but I just
people
wonder.
are.
Tony.
I do not know who these people
Tony
are.
Gaethje.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to know who they are, but it's going to be a great fight. Those two, and then the whole card is actually really good. But you got to fly all these fighters in private. You got to have all the federal
Firefest.
health people there checking on everyone. I don't know.
Good call by Ryan Freeman in the comment section. Probably just get the Firefest Island.
Oh yeah.
It had no power.
Or water.
Had a lot of cheese sandwiches.
Well, you could get water if you did things, but
Had all the cheese
Did
sandwiches.
Billy McFarland get let out yet with COVID, or is he still in?
He has a new thing he's doing for COVID victims.
Dylan McFarland.
Billy.
Billy McFarland.
Yeah, the
The
fire.
big cheese dick from the documentary.
Oh, Jesus. I thought Dylan was the Tiger King's husband. Right? That's it.
That is Dylan. Yeah.
That
Dylan
is
Passage.
Dylan.
He's one of them.
Yeah, and then when he said Billy, I was like, our Billy Tubes is doing what? I was excited to hear what Billy was doing.
He has a new scheme though.
Who?
tips.
Billy McFarland.
Is he in jail?
Yes.
And he's scheming from jail?
Yes.
Oh, he wants to get out of jail.
He's always scheming everything. Like, why do people? Yeah, you finish. I don't know that Billy man. He is. I watched both the Hulu and the Netflix documentary.
Oh, yeah.
And what the Hulu one, I think he sat down and did the interview, and I'm like, well, bud, you did not help yourself at all sitting for this interview. He came off looking much worse. I feel like.
Yeah, that guy stinks. And I don't know how anybody. He's a guy you want to slap in the mouth. You know what I mean? I don't know
Who
how
gives money to that dude? Who can sit and
don't
listen
know.
to him speak and be like, he's my guy. Yeah, this guy's
Honest-
going somewhere.
As soon as you talk to him, I think the first word out of his mouth, you go, "You shut your ass." You know what I mean? Hey, I might have the best rear naked choke of a microphone.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Probably.
Top 2 rear naked chokes on a microphone in the history of sports media.
That thing starts talking shit. You got to get after him.
Right. I hope Dana White's watching this to potentially make me a media outlet that he will talk to because he doesn't talk to anybody, and I just fucking rear naked choke the microphone out of nowhere.
I bet we could get Dana. We should reach out to Dana. I bet we could get him to come on.
I would love to talk to him about his little billionaire private island he's got people fighting on. I would love to chat about that basement battle he's got going on. To Basement Battle 1. I cannot wait.
Text them, AJ. I mean,
Text him.
What were you doing at the UFC Performance Institute?
I was in Vegas, obviously, and one of the guys I was with somebody that worked there, and I got called up to take a test for the NFL Substance of Abuse program. I was tested on Friday in Indianapolis. Okay, so I thought I had the weekend. We're good to go. Let's go to Vegas. I got Sunday morning, Las Vegas.
Wait, were you still in the program?
Oh yeah. But I thought I had at least the weekend there. You know, I thought I had the weekend because they tested me on Friday. I was going to Pittsburgh on Monday, right? So I thought they wouldn't catch me in Vegas because you got to call and report where you go. So whenever I left Indianapolis, I have to call and give them 2 phone numbers they can reach me at and the address I'll be at. So I said I'm going to Las Vegas, and I gave them the hotel I was going to be at, and I gave my phone number and the guy I was with phone number because they have to be able to reach you so they can tell you that your testing window has opened or whatever. So Friday night, great time. Saturday night, great time. Sunday morning, like 7:30 a.m., I got a call from a guy. Said he was standing in my lobby of my hotel room, and I needed a test. And I just got done at like probably 5:30, 6:30 a.m. So I was there nowhere near, had the alcohol out of my system. Hit up the UFC guy that we knew, got me in a sauna over there. I went into a sauna and a workout at the UFC thing, got a little tour of the place. It was nice. Took the piss. See you later. Off to Pittsburgh.
Nice. I can't believe you made it. So you got everything out of your system?
Yeah, but I was damn near dead. I hit one of those assault bikes. They have like an entire.
Well, yeah, these guys are there cutting weight for big time fights, and you're doing a similar thing, but you're not exactly cutting weight. You're cutting booze.
Yeah, and then by the way, I got tested in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. So I mean, they were trying to get me in that particular. They were trying to get me. And by the way, you're gonna get got. You know, you just got to get yours more than you get got.
How
though.
did you not think you were going to get tested when you told them you were going to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I just thought. I thought there was a rule they couldn't test you. They can't test you back-to-back days.
Yeah.
Is what I found out because they got me on
Figured they
Sunday.
won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Friday,
they got me
Sunday,
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah. So they got me 3 times there in what, a 6-day period.
Yeah.
They
5
tried.
day.
8 times a month. They tried to get me too. And that was like the first time I'd ever even came close to slipping up. Like I was dry sober for like out of the 27 months, 25 months because they had that little spice run too. But you know, that was a bad run. I would not recommend that to anybody. The world realized that a couple years later, but yeah, that was a wild weekend. And I got a chance to go see the UFC Performance Center. It was awesome. The people were very nice, and I got all of it out of me. I was just housing. They had like the super yuppie waters in there too. They were super pH level. I'm like, this will help the piss for sure.
Hey, I know spice sounds terrifying, and
it
I've
is.
seen some people
bad.
call the cops on themselves and freak out. What does it do to your brain? Like, I
don't know.
What happens?
You go
I
blind,
have
right?
no idea.
I've heard people go blind from smoking too much spice.
That's like moonshine. I think if you drink moonshine, it says you'll go blind or
I
something
think
like
it just
that.
takes you to dark places.
Yeah, I think it was just bad. It was a bad run. As soon as I got into the substance of abuse program, I had a teammate, right? He was like, I got you, man. Come with me after practice or whatever. And we went to this store, go down behind closed doors, and it's like, here you go. You want like peach one or what do you want? I'm like, this one's good. And that first night, I tried it because you can't drink. I couldn't drink. I couldn't smoke. I couldn't do anything. And back then, that was every night, basically every night. I was having a good time with a lot of people too. It wasn't like I was just like a casual. It was like I was having a good time. So I was like, all right, well, I can't just go. I didn't think I could just stop cold turkey. So I was like, I'll do the spice thing, and because there's a lot of people that are doing it. And I just got these massive headaches. But for like 2-3 minutes, you know, there was a little bit of like a, oh, this is cool. And then afterwards, you're like, oh my God, did I just smoke meth right there? I mean, what's going on? So that was a couple week battle where I'd go like every 4th day or something. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this a go again. Maybe I microdosed myself enough with this potpourri to kind of battle through it. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get out of here. So then I did go cold sober until that Vegas. They tried to get me, though. They tried to get me and they did not give me 8 times a month, 27 months.
Did they test you? They're allowed to test you up to 8 times a month. Did they test you 8 times a month?
8 times a month for 27 months because when I got told that I was moving into phase 2, which is the same as stage 1 or phase 1, which is 3 months long, I did nothing wrong in the first 3 phases, right? I lost 15 pounds in 8 days, by the way, cleaned. First test in a program in phase or stage 1, clean, by the way, which was, I'll post the picture. It was a miraculous thing that I did it. My entire suspension, I was suspended for a week or whatever. I would jump rope as soon as I woke up with a hoodie on. I would jump rope, then I'd fall asleep, then I would jump rope. I lost 15 pounds in 8 days, and I got tested clean. See you later. So for 3 months, I got tested clean. I met with AA, like substance abuse counselors and everything like that each week, which is part of the program. Nailed it. No fails. Did nothing wrong.
Was that useful? Was meeting with those people, was it useful, or was it just complete waste of time for you?
My dude was cool. He was a cool guy, and he knew why he was there, and I knew why I was there. And it was just, I was forced to talk to him. He's forced to have these conversations with NFL guys on a regular basis. But he would ask me, like, when was the last time you used alcohol? And I'm like, you don't fucking use alcohol, buddy. Okay, you use whatever drugs you were probably doing before you became this guy that you are currently, you know?
Alcohol uses me.
And he used to use me in a great fashion. And one night it got real bad, and then now we're out. But I did everything right for that first 3 months. So I was like, okay, I aced the test. Get me out of here. And then when I was actually driving back to Pittsburgh to celebrate getting out. Like I did 3 months. Here we go. Let's go back to Pittsburgh. On my way back, I got a call from Dr. Brown. He said, we've decided to move you to phase 2 or stage 2 of the substance abuse program. It's exactly the same as phase or stage 1, but now it's 24 months long. And I said, excuse me. I pulled the car over. I was like, who are you? He was like, I'm doctor. I don't want to say his name. Dr. Brown is his name. He's the head of the substance abuse policy. And he turns out to be a very good guy. But I started questioning his doctorship. I was like, what type of doctor are you? And he was like, I'm a psychologist or something like that. I'm like, that's not even a real doctor.
Damn you, Dr.
I was going after him. And that guy, I was not nice to him on the call. He told me I had 24 months of substance of abuse program. I was not nice to him. And he made me pay for it. I mean, I got tested the max amount of times every single month. And I reach out to the NFLPA like, let's say 16 months in. I was like, is there any way you can get this guy off of my ass? You know, like this guy, I'm getting tested 8 times a month. I've read the thing inside and out. It's supposed to be a max of 8 times. I've not failed once. I've never missed a test or anything like that. The NFLPA texted me back 2 weeks later and said, you good? I was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm done with it.
Is it common for people to like work their way through phase 1 like you did perfectly and then all of a sudden go into phase 2?
No, yeah, I think everybody does. I think it's just like a process. It is not common for people to get out of this, though, right? By the way, if you get into the substance of abuse program, there's not a lot of people that get out of it. I mean, 8 times a month they can test you. I got tested at 4:30 a.m. in Georgia when I was Bigfoot hunting one off season. I mean, it is no joke, man. They will get your piss. And afterwards, I meet Dr. Brown. I have a full conversation with him at the rookie symposium. And I was like, hey, man, I said some mean stuff to you. And you, by the way, I feel like you got me back. And I want to let you know I appreciate you or whatever. You kind of helped. It kind of helped my life, obviously. And have a good one.
It worked. The program worked for you. So you worked the program. The program worked for you. Like you.
It was a bit excessive. I think it would have won about 11 months in, maybe 10 months in. I mean, 27 months is a bit overkill. I thought.
But would you still be on that same pace had you not been in the program?
Oh yeah. Oh
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. I was having a great time.
It was a success then.
Yeah, I'd say.
Helped the career, too.
I mean, it was a tough 27 months, though. I mean, let's not undersell how hard those 27 months. I was the guy. AJ, I was the guy whenever we go to bars, like, hey, I'd like 2 shots for everybody in this place, right? So whenever I would go out with my friends and I'd just be like, oh, I won't drink, everybody acted weird around me. They're like, oh, Pat's miserable. Like, he can't. I'm like, oh, I'll have a Red Bull or whatever. They're like, oh, Pat sucks. Like,
just take a toll on Pat, AJ. It took a toll on all of us.
Yeah, it took a toll on everybody, man. So I just locked myself in my room, basically, in my house. Kept all the curtains closed. Lost a bunch of weight. I was going to go play in the MLS.
Went to work.
Yeah.
Hey, so when you guys hung up on me yesterday before you called Drew McIntyre?
Oh,
jeez. Well, you have to hang up to get I'm not worried about the hang up. That's how it works.
Okay, because you do hang up on us.
Your tone again.
Yeah, you do.
Your tone just doesn't.
Your
go
tone.
right.
You hung up on us
Almost every day. Your tone.
Because we have to. That's how the technology works right now. But no, what happened. I saw a clip of you talking to the boys in between when I was hung up on before I got back on, and you said, "Oh, by the way, not a lot of people happy with Dr. Drew. A lot of people coming after Dr. Drew."
Bro!
That's it. You said he's not happy with me, saying, "How can you give him a platform?" That's AJ's booking. We're gonna have to talk to him. AJ's booking. I got to talk to him.
Hey, real.
So you're passing it off to me like it doesn't matter. It says your name in the background.
I
Pat
know.
McAfee show.
Bro, I get all the credit whenever something gets going, and then whenever it's not, oh my God, this is it. You booked Aaron Rodgers. You asked him the question about Peru. That story went everywhere. I got the credit to Pat McAfee show, and I was like, no, I was actually mad that you weren't taking any credit. And then here it comes, full circle. Dr. Drew Pinsky's on the Pat McAfee show saying all this stuff, and it's like, wait a minute. If you go back to Thursday before we booked him, I had some questions, and I will say this. Dr. Drew is very nice to us. I think he's very straight up with us. But there are some people on the internet who are not happy with Dr. Drew. They are not happy with that.
I think he's even put out kind of like somewhat of an apology for where he has come from the beginning of the whole COVID situation until now. He still is going hard at the media saying you're creating panic and chaos. But I think he's changed his tune a little bit. But okay, that's another that's a bigger question though.
Should we have him on right now? I'm going to put his feet to the fire. You want to have him on right now?
Yeah, might as well. Might as well get him on.
Will you? We just call him out of nowhere?
I'd be careful. He also filed some copyright claims, got some of that other footage that's been floating around the internet taken down for strikes.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Dr. Drew did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's not striking us. This is the Pat McAfee show.
Wait, what did he get taken down?
Some of those footage that was chopped together.
Yeah, there's a couple
Of
montages.
him talking about how it's just the flu, it's not worse than the flu, blah, blah, and then how far he's come, like you mentioned. There were footage of that from him from certain TV shows. Those TV shows obviously had that copyrighted. So he strikes the claim, they get taken down off those Twitter profiles, so on and so forth.
Those go back to January, too.
We should call Pal. Will you text him and say, hey, can we call you? Because Pat's getting abused in this entire thing.
Well, Zeet has his number. What if Zeet reaches out quick?
You want me to call him?
Just call him.
Just call him and then see if he's willing to come on.
Hey, if it's going to go to his voicemail, though, hang up because we don't need...
You want to do
You don't have Zeke call him off the air and then see if he's willing to come on.
Oh, our show rolls the dice, though. I mean, we go.
Yeah, we got to hang up on you to call him anyway.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. Dr. Drew's going to be so mad.
Oh.
Cold call?
No, I don't. I think he's going to be
You got
happy.
to tell him he's on the air. That's all you got to do.
Hey, Doc, we're live. You came on our show on Friday. Since then, all I have been is assaulted with mentions about you coming on the show. I would like to know your stance on all these people that are trying to tear you down. That's what my question's going to be.
But that argument people try to make on how do you give this person a platform or whatever. First off, like, when does it ever benefit anybody just to silence somebody and cancel them?
Okay, AJ. Hey.
But you can't hear like differing opinions if you feel one way or the other? Like, what is that?
You're calling him right now? I thought he was on. I got a thumbs up back here. I was like, I thought he was on. I was very pumped. You're 100% right, though. I think we should start listening to people that have opposing views as us more so than tuning them out. I like to know both sides of almost every single argument. I feel like it makes me a smarter person. I feel like it makes the situation better. I enjoy that type of stuff. But I do not like just getting 400, 500 tweets at me this weekend telling me that I let old Dr. Drew Pinsky on the air. I did not like that. I thought he gave us a good interview, too.
So what do you think would happen if you reached out and got O.J. Simpson on the show? You think people would be upset?
Oh, I would love that. I have so many questions. He was so reckless with that murder.
Just about his Twitter videos or what?
Well, we'll get to that, but let's just talk about the murder.
That was a no answer from Dr. Drew.
He'll call us back.
He'll definitely call back.
O.J. Simpson, there's a guy with no self-awareness. I've never seen a human lack self-awareness more than O.J. Simpson. I'll put him on the...
That guy that stopped you and told you he did the OH in front of the full stadium, that guy had a little bit less awareness than O.J.
The Mount Rushmore of lack of self-awareness. O.J. Simpson is the forefront of that. He is George in that entire thing. It is not.
Why is he laughing in his Twitter videos? Why does he laugh so much at himself?
I'm just saying. He's tough, dude. How they portrayed him with an actor that looks nothing like him, I think, was pretty accurate. I think he.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the what?
You can't handle the truth, isn't that?
Yeah, you can't handle it.
Yeah, not tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
There's truth in there.
Yeah.
Well, and OJ's to think about it, no one asked him. He makes a comment about Carol Baskin.
Hey, he's in that
killing her
movie.
husband.
Yeah, Tiger Sashimi. Yeah, I saw him say that. I mean, they're coming after me right now for Tell the Truth. He was in that movie with Tom Cruise. Stomps on the thing.
That's Show Me the Money, I think you're thinking of.
You're thinking of
He was
Ron
a
Tidwell.
Jack Nicholson?
Jerry Maguire.
yeah, but he was also he was like a diver in the Navy
Yeah,
in one movie
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
With Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
not A Few Good Men. That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, that suit he wore was so heavy.
Tell the truth. Are you talking about the CTE movie with Will Smith?
1000%.
No, I'm not. I was talking about You Can't Handle the Truth.
Yeah, Few
Okay,
Good Men.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson, right.
He's not in Few Good Men.
Looks just like Cuba Gooding Jr. I understand
right
the
there.
mishap.
Tom Cruise and
Tell the
Jack
truth.
Nicholson.
That's tough. That's tough for me. Anyways, I smoke
You were
spicy.
thinking of Men of Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Thank
Man
you.
of honor.
He looked nothing like OJ. It was kind of difficult, to be honest with you, to really get into it. But then when I got in the meats and potatoes of the storyline, I was all in. He definitely, I mean, he does not have any self-aware. He's golfing. He's living his good life. He acts as if none of that happened, by the way. And I'm just saying, with everything, it's like, we know that's what you're just saying. And what we've been just saying is like, yo, you're one of the top 2 most hated humans on earth, like forever and ever. Amen. By the way, do you kind of have to respect O.J. Simpson for everything that he's done and gotten away with, for writing a book? If I would have done it, going back to jail again for something else, and then coming out and acting like none of it ever happened, do you have to have some sort of respect for that lack of self-awareness, like from O.J. Simpson?
I don't know if I have to have respect for it, but sometimes I'm like intrigued by it when I see things that people will post on Instagram and like that. Sometimes I'm like, man, they just have not a care in the world for grammatical mistakes they're putting out there, misspellings, like awful looking pictures of themselves. Like people don't care. And you know what? Sometimes I do have some respect for them. Like I'd be nice to not really worry about anything. Just misspell everything and just consistently do it over and over again and never have a care in the world.
Are you taking shots at me?
You're taking shots at Zito right now.
Is that Zeke? Sorry, Zeke. I'm not on Twitter a whole lot.
Him calling Dawn, Carol Baskin's ex-husband, Tiger Sashimi. Legendary line. And think about when he thought of that, by the way. He's like, get that camera out. I got an idea.
The question is, who are OJ's little ball washers that are playing golf with him? Those are the guys that you got to really be worried about.
Yeah, who's filming?
I mean, the dude that was in the Bronco. The Bronco
No,
guy.
Al
He's
Callen's
ride or
Al's
die.
not around, I don't think.
I think that guy's dead.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
No,
Do you remember
I think
the
he's
prank
alive, but I
show
don't think he
had?
and OJ are close
that?
anymore.
Remember OJ had a prank show that was going to come out? It was being shot and produced by the girl who did Girls Gone Wild.
The guy.
Yeah.
That guy got arrested though, right?
Yeah.
I did not know about a prank show.
Yeah, there was a prank show with OJ as the host where he would come, gotcha.
And they canceled it, or they?
Yeah, surprisingly, it didn't really make it to
Hey,
air.
Girls Gone Wild knew people would watch that though. That guy, Girls Gone Wild guy, absolute scumbag, really moved the needle though. That guy.
He knows.
What did he go to jail? Did he go to jail?
Yeah, I think some fraudulent stuff
what?
or assault.
Oh, okay.
I would assume he did something.
Money laundering.
Yeah. I remember watching Cribs episode. He had that house down in Mexico that had 24/7 room service. And I never forget, like, oh, well, quickly adding that to the list of dreams.
It was called Juiced.
Juice was the.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
The juice.
Was that before Pranked?
I don't know.
No. Would have had to been afterwards.
How about Cato? Cato Kalin. He used to live
Cato's
in
the
beach
man.
house. Yeah.
Big Packer fan.
Who's Cato?
He used to live
You
in
don't know
the beach
Cato, the
house
blonde
in
hair,
Bay.
his house buddy that lived in the little house that the glove was found right behind. He heard the thump the
Oh,
night
the
of.
surfer dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably
Okay.
his friend right now.
You think that's the guy filming him?
Yeah.
No, Cato. I don't think he and Cato are tight anymore.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't know what OJ.
I had
Simpson's
Cato on
up
my
to.
podcast like 3 years ago, and I think he even said like, "Yeah, I think he probably did it."
We should call him.
Call him. What's his number?
Call him. I don't know if he still has the same number. He's really busy. I think he's still acting a lot and doing a lot of good work.
Did he do any acting ever?
I think he wanted to. I think that's why he moved to LA and he quickly became OJ's house guest.
Yeah.
boy.
Launched his career though after the trial.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, he had a performance during the trial, right? Didn't he go out there? He was a witness or whatever.
Testified.
Would you say a performance?
Maybe.
You don't know.
Yeah, he was on the witness stand. He had to get cross-examined and everything.
You know that glove did not fit.
Glove don't fit. Can't acquit.
The fact that if it's accurate that the lawyer was able to go up and touch the glove during the recession, Do you remember? Was that accurate? He
During
won-
the recession, the financial recession,
Travolta.
what was it?
No.
recess. Whenever the court is in recess or whatever, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's such a childish term to use. I don't know why they do that for something
up,
that's so
lawyers.
grow up. I mean, come on, court system, grow up.
Judge.
It's fucking stupid.
Not two.
But during recess, I guess one of the lawyers went up there and touched the glove or saw
Doesn't he
the,
like try it on?
Yeah, he puts it on.
yeah, and he said it didn't. If it didn't fit my hand, there's no way it's going to
Right.
fit his hand. Is
And
that real?
he tricked Darden into getting OJ to put it on
put it
instead
on,
of having
yeah.
them ask him.
Is
to put it
that
on.
real? Is that really happen?
Darden's talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, I was just so much smarter than a motherfucker. I mean, that's basically what he was doing. He was flexing his
It's what won him the case, really.
legitimate.
Johnny Cochran, Kardashian's dad was on his defense team.
He was not happy to be on that defense team, by the way. It was that guy from Friends did his role.
Yeah, David.
Yeah,
Schwimmer.
Ross played a good Kardashian.
No,
I
he
feel.
did. Yeah, no, he was good.
It was great.
What is your problem with Ross? You don't like that guy.
He's the worst character of all time.
That's
Oh,
Turtleneck
from
Tone.
the show
by the way.
Friends?
Hey, have you seen Turtleneck Tone? He got this turtleneck in. He looks incredible, but it's about to be 80 degrees, so he tried to sneak it in one last time here before the weather turns.
My voice has never felt so good in a day. Neck is very warm.
Yeah, that's like a progressive new age turtleneck too. It's not tight; it's loose
No,
and hangs
super
around
loose.
your neck.
A wizard sleeve.
It is loose like wizard's
You
sleeve.
look good. You look good, Diggs.
Hang like wizard's sleeve.
He's still glowing from his birthday week.
Circumcised? Uncircumcised.
Dumbest show of all time. Is there anything else for us to talk about?
Yeah, there's so much.
Got those new Buccaneers jerseys. That
Oh,
just
did you
got
see
released.
these?
I was gonna say that. I just saw that earlier today. Yeah.
Can we put a picture of these up? By the way, when I seen them, I thought it was great debut, great rollout. By the way, like a hype video for your uniforms. I think didn't they try to change it before? They tried to change theirs a couple years back.
These it?
Oh, they stink!
I don't think that's it.
That wasn't
Those
the
are
ones.
not the ones.
Yeah, that wasn't the ones I saw.
Those are not them.
Damn it.
There's a red one, a white one, and a gray one.
They look like the All-Star ones.
And the gray one might be their color splash jersey.
Color Rush.
They're Thursday games.
That one, Color Rush. Yeah, it's just all charcoal gray. And I wondered why they didn't go black, and I was like, Tampa. It's probably hot as hell dressed in all black. But they're white, they're red. I didn't see that many differences, probably because I hadn't looked at the Buccaneers jerseys last year. But I think they look good. I think it's a good-looking jersey. I think they did good there.
I mean, it's all a money thing. You get people now all of a sudden that owned old Bucks jerseys. They say, "Hell, there's new jerseys. I got to get this new jersey," and they got a whole new influx of people to buy the new age jersey. I guess
With Tom coming too, it's like the Buccaneers pre-Tom, the Buccaneers post-Tom.
It's a nice updated look of the Brad Johnson era Bucks.
Yeah, they're nice jerseys.
found 'em.
They're good.
Brad Johnson, by the way, Clyde Christians. Here they are. There they are. So the all grays are on the far right, obviously. The red,
middle looks the exact same,
it does, and that's what
and
I.
the white and all white looks the
So they
exact same.
changed the number. Like it used to be like the digital clock.
Yeah, they had the alarm clock looking numbers. They changed that a couple years ago, much to the chagrin of the entire internet, it felt like. So they kind of took it back old school. I like the uniforms. I think they're very nice. I don't love the color gray much, especially because I'm a sweater. I think I'd rather that be black. But in Tampa, it's hot as hell. I would assume the gray is for Color Rush, and the other two are going to be their home and away. I don't see much of a difference, but I like that they debuted new jerseys. I like that they did it. It gives us something to talk about. And I think it looks good. And also sets this Buccaneers team up to separate itself from the past. And I think this – did you see Tom Brady's writing in the Players Tribune?
Yeah, I saw some of it.
Here's one paragraph. Did you guys have that paragraph? Here's one paragraph that I was really intrigued by. He wrote, obviously, in Players Tribune, which is owned by Derek Jeter, who gave him a 30,000 square foot house to live in South Petersburg or whatever, South Tampa and St. Petersburg. And all in return, Derek probably asked for was, hey, just give me a couple columns in the Players Tribune. He wrote a long one. It was very inspirational, actually. It's nice to read things that are written by the greatest of all time, obviously by them, not their PR people, which is a lot of the Players Tribune. He said, for me, playing football isn't going to last another 10 years. In the time left, the question is, how can I keep maximizing what I do, put everything I can into it, make it the best I possibly can? At this point in my career, the only person I have to prove anything to is myself. Physically, I'm as capable of doing my job as I've ever been. Now I want to see what more I can do. I want to see how great I can be. I want to hear other people say, go, man. Now that's what we've been missing. That's what we need. That's what we've been looking for. Deep down, I know what I can do. I know what I can bring. Now I want to see it in action. That little go, man. Now that's what we've been missing. That's what we need. That's what we've been looking for. is so telling right there on what this guy for 20 years, known by everybody as the greatest of all time around this sport, just wants to go to a place. And in there, he also talked about listening to him and hearing him out, being seen and being heard and ideas. It's very, very telling on how he felt as his time towards the end there as a Patriot and why he wanted to get out and experience something different. By the way, a lot of success was had the Patriot way. I'm excited to see Brady, a free bird out there flying. I can't wait to see that guy spread his wings a little bit.
Well, don't you think this is kind of like the hardest Tom Brady will ever go at anybody?
Oh,
in this writing, and it doesn't. Obviously, you got to kind of read between the lines, but it makes sense what he's saying when he says he wants someone to hear say "Go, man" to him. Like he wants some encouragement, he wants some excitement around it instead of people just knocking him down.
Just one fucking time, I want to hear somebody say, "Way to go, Tom! Thanks for winning us 6 Super Bowls."
Not what it's about.
Just one time. Will
what it's
somebody
about.
say, "Congratulations, thanks, man"? That's all he's looking for. There's been a couple things I think he said kind of in between the lines that would be the most he's ever taken a shot. That is one of them. And then in his original one, he said, I very much understand that in this business of football, it's not what you have done. It's what you'll do in the future and what you're potentially going to be next year. And your value is what he was basically, I think that was a conversation that was potentially had about negotiating for his contract. I think that was something that was potentially talked about. And boy, just like I think Cam Newton is going to be on a revenge tour, somehow I think the greatest of all time is nestled up somewhere in a 30,000 square foot house, learning everything he has to about this Bruce Arians offense, running virtual plays on Zoom with Godwin and Evans. And I think they are going to be really good this year.
Yeah, I agree. They should be really, really good. I don't know if they're good enough to make a run at the Super Bowl. We'll see. But, man.
Me neither.
Because the Niners?
No, the Niners, I don't know.
Saints.
I don't know what the Niners are going to be. I'm not 100% sold that the Niners are going to be back.
Really?
I mean, I think they're going to be very, very good. I just don't know if they're going to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's a lot. A lot has to happen. A lot of things have to fall in the right place for that to happen.
Ike Taylor this morning talked about how Breeze and Rodgers are GOATs, right? Considered greatest of all time. Well, some of the greatest of all time. Last time Breeze won a Super Bowl, 11 years ago. Last time Rodgers won a Super Bowl, 10 years ago. It is hard to get to a Super Bowl. It is not easy. That's why the Patriots are so special. But I think that Niners team, especially with this no offseason, no OTAs, probably a shortened training camp and everything like that, I think the teams that have been together the longest could potentially go on the deepest run, and this could benefit the Niners, the Chiefs, and things of that nature. But you're 100% right. The Saints are also coming back full force. Drew Brees is back for another year, waiting to get the Monday Night Football gig. I think the NFC is going to be interesting. The AFC looks like it's going to be top-heavy, though.
Yeah, what all teams do you place in the top of the AFC?
AFC?
Yeah, other than the Chiefs.
Well, obviously, Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
Phil Rivers also could be a sneaky, very good candidate for a great color analyst, whether it's Monday Night Football or something else. I think Phil could be awesome.
Oh, I think so too. Spirited, lively, but he has so many kids. That commentator lifestyle. You're on the road, 3 days a week?
What Phil's rich enough though, where he can fly in and out private. So he'll go in Sunday game. I mean, they usually get there to watch practice on Friday, sometimes Saturday at the latest. So he could probably fly in Saturday morning, do the game Sunday at 1:00, fly home, be home Sunday night. Like, that's not that bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, but he also has to save $25 million for college education for all of his kids. So, I mean, there's plenty of stuff that he has to save money on.
That's
here,
just this
AJ.
season. He'll just pocket this season.
He would have to work, though, then. He would have to continue to work then.
Okay, fair enough.
That's like Cromartie, who was playing until he's like, he probably still could play if he had to, but he had, 10 kids or something like that. I mean, that's
9 baby mamas.
That's an incredible, incredible stat to have. The amount of pressure that you parents have that I have not had to have is really remarkable. I don't know how you do it.
Have you thought about potentially having a kid someday?
Yeah, whenever Chuck shit on the floor the other day, I thought about how a baby could put a diaper on it.
So do you think someday when you still have, let's say someday you're lucky enough to have kids of your own, are you still going to have a small Joe Exotic style zoo in your house?
Yeah, I think so. I think the lady will probably always have animals in the house. And our animals, by the way, we have filtered out the bads. I mean, there's been a couple bad pets that have gotten in there. We got good animals. I think once you have human pets, children, I think kind of the feeling goes in a different direction emotionally. So that could potentially happen for us. Do you guys have pets over there? You got 5 kids.
We had 3 dogs. We're down to 1 right now.
And an outdoor cat.
Yep, one outdoor 3-legged cat that is going strong.
Caitlin's an OG out there.
Caitlin's running the show.
What'd you do with the other dogs?
Did you? Yeah, what happened to the other two dogs?
They both died, unfortunately, yeah, over the last 2 years.
That won March Sadness, by the way.
It's not.
What?
It won March Sadness. There was a March Sadness bracket the boys on the pod put together. And a dog passing away won the March Sadness. It was the most sad thing out of the entire bracket. There's a lot of things on that bracket.
It's a nail biter.
Yeah, it's not an easy situation. One thing I know I'll never do, anyone that knows me well, like, did you see Marley and Me, the movie?
No,
Don't do it.
I won't.
Never.
Golden Retriever dies for an hour and 45 minutes. It's the saddest thing I've ever been a part of. It was the worst. I saw it in the theater for some reason
With your whole family?
with just my wife. I don't know why I don't know how long ago that was, why we even went to a movie, why we did that. I remember 30 minutes in, I was like, let's go. We got to get out of here. And it's like, what are you talking about? Is something wrong? I'm like, no, we got to go. Like, I can clearly see what's happening. Like, they're so close with this dog. It's their whole life. And now I can see it dying. Like, no, I can't wait till the end.
It's sad. I don't like it. But your one dog good with the kids? All of your kids, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's good. But she's like 11 now. So, got to see what the future holds. I don't know. Kids are already pushing for another puppy. That's not happening right now.
Smart. Hey, lay down the law down there, because I assume at your house you don't get a lot of control about things. That's something you can kind of control there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can kind of control that. But I still think, too, like, having a young puppy that's rambunctious, it may be harder than having a young baby.
That's what I've been saying this whole time, and thank God that you agree with me. Because
they, like, a young baby.
can't
yeah,
put a baby in a cage, though.
That's
That's what
they'll
I've
keep you
always
up at
told.
night.
What's
They'll do all that. But guess what my young baby's not doing? Running around chewing on all the woodwork of my house and chewing on steps and eating everything. Babies don't do that.
Shitting all over the place.
There's no better time now, though. Like, you're
Yeah.
home 24/7 for weeks to train that puppy.
Oh, you think now's the time to
The best time to get a dog.
A lot of people are saving animals, by the way, from shelters and stuff, and I would very
like,
much a
is
proponent
Jack's
of that.
Aquarium and Pets open right now? I didn't think about that. I doubt it. There's no way they're open.
I don't know if Jack has his place open, but our guy Steve has his open over here.
Are pet stores open?
Who is the pet
Yeah.
store here in Indiana? They have to. It's an essential thing, right?
Petco.
It's essential?
Yeah,
PetSmart.
because
I would
if animals get hurt or something, they got to bring them in.
We have Bills. We have Bill.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you have Jack's. We got Bill over here.
What did we have in the Miracle Mile?
Petco.
That was Petland.
But they used to have actual pets there. You could go in there and
Yeah.
buy like pet dogs and stuff. Here, you can't have dogs at the store.
Oh.
I don't.
They got fish.
Really?
I talk to the fish
Puppy
every
mills.
time.
In
Sounds
Indiana, they can't do that?
Sounds like I'm wrong. I think.
No, I
Go
think you're
buy
right.
go buy a dog at a pet store and post it online. You won't get any hate at all.
Well, I'm big shelter. Valerie, this girl, Pitbull Sharpei, AJ, Pitbull Sharpei dog. Her name's Val. She's got the tattoo. You know, she was about a week or a couple days away from certain death. Sam went in there and saved her, and she acts like it. You know, like she knows. She is appreciative. This Chuck dog, this Corgi dog, this son of a bitch. Yeah, he and I are starting to get along a little bit more. We've been around each other. He's a smart dog. But he thinks he runs the roost around there, and I'm just going to let him know a couple more shits, and he might be out there with the fox.
Yeah, to your point, and what Dick said earlier, fostering a dog right now is a great idea. An older, more mature dog. Having a 1-year-old, 3-month-old dog at home right now, it is not the best time to be locked up with your dog.
Nick has a lab that is wide open. His name is Walt. He's a big boy. He's young. How has that been? You and Walt learn a lot about each other. I see.
He's good, but on the weekends, like, he's nonstop. He wants to go all the time. So he's like nudging you and poking you with his snout when you just want to chill a little bit. He wants to go.
What do you do?
I take him out to the park like 3 times a day. Take him for a walk like twice a day.
Oh,
Try
no
to
way
keep
I'm
him
doing
going.
that.
You drug him with CBD.
I also
Don't get
drug
on
him
your
with
high
CBD.
horse.
Well, you got to make his joints feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not doing anything to slow him down.
But I'm sure
No.
you got a fenced-in yard, Ed. You just
CBD
let that
MD.
dog out back and let it run.
Yeah, it's not exactly fenced in. They could sneak through the tree
I
line.
know, Billy
Get
told
out of
me.
here. What'd you say?
I said, I know, Billy told me.
Jesus. This guy says, I'm buying a tiger right now in the comment section. Old Joe Nathan getting another pet. He says he's going to buy a tiger.
Hey, you know what I found, Pat? It popped up on my YouTube feed through my Apple TV. Is some of Joe Exotic's old TV shows. Like he says, a day in the life, like a day in the zoo, and he documented everything, and it's honestly pretty interesting.
I cannot wait. He had a film crew rolling at all times. For that guy, I mean, obviously he was a massive, what's that called whenever
Scumbag?
Sociopath.
Oh.
He's a massive sociopath.
That works too.
Scumbag. By the way, normally those two words can normally go hand in hand with each other, but he was filming that's why the documentary Tiger King was so damn good, right? Because they were filming so much. Now, I can't wait to dive into the Uncut Gems, which is the name of a movie Adam Sandler made that Bert Kreischer called Precious Gems, just on an interview the other day. Your boy Bert had a great interview with Adam Sandler, and it is must-watch internet if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was like a Live Aid comedy type thing where I think like 10 hours straight they had a bunch of different comedians pop on and Zoom or FaceTime each other. And yeah, Bert and Whitney Cummings like dialed up Adam Sandler, and Bert just was very excited.
I love Bert. We are big fans of Bert. Bert was our first ever guest on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That moment with Adam Sandler, he'll think about till the day he dies. Bert Kreischer will think about that moment forever. By the way, it's turned into a great piece of content. I mean, it is a great piece of content. And my respect for Adam Sandler has only grown. The way okay. There are a lot of, okay. Ace Ventura. Yeah, Jim Carrey, he's a fan favorite over here with my kids. They like him more than me. And Bert just keeps hammering him with more. And he's like, okay, all right. Adam Sandler. How much money is that worth?
He's got $500 million in the bank, probably.
I think his net worth is actually like $450 million.
Bro, he does nothing but just pump out bangers. Adam Sandler.
You know my favorite part though, Pat, in that interview, Bert like kept chiming in, jumped in and said, no, let me tell you something else. And he goes, I got one quick question for you, Adam. If you could go back over all your movies, what's your, if you could just go back and relive that on set, what was your favorite movie you shot? Like, we had so much fun, you just enjoyed it, and Adam almost cut him off, and he's like, no, I never thought about that, never gonna think about it. Actually, I hated that question. Move on. It was perfect. And Bert laughed and liked it. So yeah, I think it worked out for everybody.
That was a good idea. The social distancing interview there, him and Whitney Cummings holding the table.
Well, I think they raised a bunch of money they're trying to support like people that work in comedy clubs and wait staff and all those kind of people.
Smart, by the way. Those people, this came out of nowhere, man. Grinders, too, those humans. The humans that are working, not only in comedy clubs, obviously them as well, but the entire wait staff and the people that work in the service industry, grinders. Those humans just work their asses off. And a lot of them obviously live paycheck to paycheck because that's how the business goes, especially when you're in an all-cash business. But this came out of nowhere. There's a lot of people struggling right now in the service industry, man. A lot of people struggling.
Pat, did you ever have any teammates that were living paycheck to paycheck?
I mean, if I got cut going into my second year there, which was very possible, I mean, I would have been in a tough spot. But other than that, no, yeah, I had some teammates that were obviously waiting for Tuesday or Wednesday for that cash to hit, obviously.
Yeah, so you guys that are just counting down the days until the regular season starts where you're getting your game checks.
Hey, those preseason checks are a bunch of malarkey.
Well, yeah, it's like a stipend almost, right? Everyone gets paid the same.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I remember we played up in Canada one time, and I ended up walking away, paying money to Canada, tax-wise. I ended up owing money to Canada. It was insane. Those preseason games were insane. That's why I think a lot of the OGs, by the way, let's get rid of this one. I'm not getting paid $600 to go play football for you guys while you're still selling tickets at 100% and you're still getting TV deals with it. And you're still making season ticket orders, buy tickets to it. It's an interesting little hustle that the NFL has that, everybody's so excited for football to come back. And then that first week of training camp, everybody's pumped up about it. And then the next couple weeks, everybody's like bored, like, okay. And then the first preseason game, everybody's pumped up for it, and everybody kind of gets bored. And then the regular season happened, and nobody talks about the preseason ever again. Ever again. Preseason is...
Yep. I don't think I could... I remember looking back when people would ask me about preseason games, and I have no idea if I ever won or lost a preseason game.
No clue.
No clue what the final score was, ever.
And there was always these articles that were written because the Colts were notoriously bad preseason teams. And that's because there wasn't a lot of depth, right? So the money was spent on all your great players, but behind that didn't have a lot of depth. So whenever you're in preseason games, like that winningest decade in NFL history that Peyton Manning was a part of before the Patriots obviously came in and shattered that, their records preseason, I think they were like 0-4, 0-4, 0-4, 1-3, and everything like that. The way it was being talked about, though, during the preseason, all of the local reporters had to take the bait They had to bite down on it because there was nothing else to talk about. And every single time they're like, is this the year that the Colts team falls off? They just lost 31-7 or whatever to the Detroit Lions in preseason. And everybody's like, oh, the world's coming. And then finally the starters play first week. It's like, well, let's just act like we didn't say anything. The Colts are off to a hot start yet again. It's just like preseason is just a complete fake world that doesn't even matter or exist.
But coaches want to build it up and act like it does matter. Like, guys, if we strap it on, we're going to compete and win every single day. We want to win every single game we play. I don't care where it is. And then what is said after the fourth preseason game? You come in the locker room, the coach will say something like, "Hey guys, like this is the last time this group's going to be together. But who cares? All this garbage is preseason. It's over. It's done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now the real work starts." I'm like, "But you've been talking for like 4 weeks about how big of a deal this is. We're supposed to win."
That's quite a change of tune there. I thought this really mattered. I thought the whole conversation was, are they keeping score? If they're keeping score, we want to win. That's the type of team we are. To our fans, if they're keeping score, we want to win. That's what this organization is. That's what this franchise will be remembered. And that's how you as players will be remembered. If they're keeping score, do you want to win or do you want to lose? And then lose the preseason game, like, got to get better for next week. And then immediately upon preseason being over, none of that shit mattered. Let's focus, move forward with the best team we have. By the way, I know we're supposed to have 53 players on this team, and we're currently at 70 or whatever, but we're cutting 30 people. We're going to add 13 randoms to this team because you guys stink. It's an interesting, preseason is just so stupid. It is so, I understand it's important, and I understand there is a necessity, especially this year with no OTAs and things like that. Those games are so dumb. I mean, they're so stupid.
Well, when you're in, like, say somebody's a starter, when they're in the game, they obviously want to play well. Like, you want to go in and make a few plays and then get out of there healthy. Like, that's what everyone wants. Like, one of the most excited I've ever seen a defense was, I don't know what year it was. We were playing in Kansas City, and I remember it was the fourth preseason game, and the starters were going to play. And he goes, "Hey, you got one series. Now, if that's one play or that's 15 plays, that's where you guys are staying in. First play, corner gets a pick. We celebrate like we won the Super Bowl. guys want to take their shoulder pads off and put their Jordans on the sidelines 2 minutes later."
Oh, that's awesome. Punter sucks, by the way. Punter, there's normally not a backup punter. Now, granted, my job is much easier than yours.
And you're punting a lot, too, in the preseason, aren't you?
And you got a guy playing on the punt team that's going to be working at McDonald's in a week and a half. Like, hey, that guy's going to be working. And it's a lot easier to want to block a punt than to block for a punt. So, I mean, it became I would catch the snap, and I would just throw it basically out of my hands and punt it and pray, like, get me the fuck out of here. I just, boom, bang, boom, get me out of here. I got flipped on HBO Hard Knocks and got a guy a job in Cincinnati. He came in off the edge. The guy just basically he played, I think, 400 plays that game because it was the fourth preseason game. And he basically just watched the guy run by him. He blocks me. I do a full front flip basically on Hard Knocks in slow motion. That guy gets signed to the team because he gives maximum effort on special teams. It's like, Jesus, the guy he ran by, I think, is potentially playing, gym coach right now somewhere. I mean, it was just next level. Foxy, Detroit was always good in preseason.
The Lions went 4-0 in preseason and then went 0-16 same season.
But Foxy,
Exactly.
Did you and your friends, though, or people that are Lions fans, did that get you excited when you would be 4-0 in the preseason?
Yeah, for us it did. Any kind of winning in Detroit is good, AJ. So when you see 4-0, and that same season, John Kitna said we were going to go 10-6 and win a playoff game. They go 4-0 in the preseason. We're fired up to win some playoff games.
And all the local media too is selling it. This is the year.
Oh yeah.
Look at what they did preseason game.
And think about it, though. What if your starting quarterback plays awful in all four of those games, but your backup and your third string quarterback play great? Are you really excited about your team? Like if they won, like say your backup and your third stringer win it for you.
Every team I was on, the backup was just getting slaughtered out there. We had no offensive line. I mean, it was just like.
Well, yeah, because most teams only come into a game like during the regular season. You have sometimes two backups for the whole offensive line. So you're like, hey man, nobody can go down. In the preseason, there's more, but there's not a ton of guys to roll through there.
Preseason's hell. All right, are we done? We're done, right? I think we're done.
You didn't have any questions today?
Oh, YouTube questions. Every once in a while, I can't believe I didn't do this, by the way. That was very rude of me to just ignore. We've got over 6,000 people currently watching. AJ, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a massive theater if you think about it.
We appreciate them watching.
Absolutely. Hey, Absolutely. And that's why we like to dive into the YouTube comment section every once in a while to get some YouTube questions.
YouTube questions.
It's hot as fuck in this studio.
Yeah.
Zito, going with
I
your.
turned the air conditioner off earlier. I apologize.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was shaking the cameras. I forgot to turn it back on.
It was for the good of the show.
Yeah, it's on me.
It's for the good of the show, though.
Boy, Z.
Had a baby Z.
That about hey, that
Thank you.
turtleneck tone's in a bad spot, but I mean we're all sweating. Are you good actually?
Yeah, I don't get hot very often.
Oh, cold-blooded.
Yeah.
You ain't get hot, you stay hot.
Quick question out of Charlie Gomez here, and then a real question after. AJ, how do you get more vitamin leaf stickers on your helmet at OSU?
There we go. It's a great question. The vitamin leaf. How do you guys
Vitamin leaves?
Yeah, it looks like marijuana leaves for sure. How do you get those on the helmets over there?
Blunts?
Well, they're Buckeye leaves, and it's kind of changed over time on what they like. The criteria was when I was there, it was a little more difficult, I think, to get them. But I don't know, like the whole defense would get one sticker if you held a team under 100 yards rushing, things like that are what get you. You know, there's not a whole lot of individual things that get like an individual sticker.
So it's not marijuana leaves?
Nah, they're Buckeyes.
Okay.
Buckeyes,
That really
state
did.
treat.
That really did used to like feel like it meant something though. Like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
saw a guy who had a shitload of stickers on his helmet, it's like, all right, this guy's.
What was cool is when you
Stud.
get one whole
Young.
side with stickers. That was great.
Our high school team did that, didn't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Diggs had a bunch of Mustangs on the helmet.
Tony.
Look at you, Diggs. What position?
Wide receiver and safety.
Ever heard of it?
Tony.
Two-way player. Ever heard of it? D1 athlete. Ever
What
heard
do you
of it?
mean? I've heard. Tone, where'd you go to high school again?
Plum Senior High.
Yeah, I remember hearing about you. I stay up on recruiting and stuff. I definitely remember there was a lot of chatter.
When you were covering Big 33.
Rust Belt. They said Rust Belt mentality.
Oh my God, you are an idiot. Hey, there's a lot of people in the comment section asking why you don't ever talk about Clay Matthews. What's going on with Clay Matthews? Clay
Oh
Matthews?
yeah, he just went off.
Should I talk
the
about
all-
him, or should-
about
what do
the
you mean?
decade team?
Oh, he went off about the all-decade team?
He had a long.
He listed
tweet.
his stats.
Yeah.
Was
saw
he
that.
speaking for me too? That'd be interesting if he would have done that. I would have liked to echo those sentiments. Let me. What did other than the stats? Did he say anything
He
else?
ran like his award, like the All Pros, the Pro Bowls. He went through all of his accolades.
He does not tweet much, by the way. He does not tweet much. That was like his first tweet in months. It was just like Clay Matthews was fed up with it. Enough of it. I'm tired of the disrespect. I was an animal out there whenever Kevin Green was coaching me, and I was moving all over the yard with my little smell sniff sticks things, and I had my hair flow. Everybody forgets I was on Head and Shoulders and Chunky Soup long before these motherfuckers today. And Clay Matthews is right. I think a lot of people have forgot about how big of a monster Clay Matthews was for the Packers for a long time. He was a teammate of yours. He was the top of the NFL there for a little bit.
Yeah, he was a monster. I mean, he was a monster. He had a great year this year when he missed how many games with a broken jaw? I think he still got 8.5 sacks or something for the Rams. I know they released him, but he broke his jaw and missed 4 games maybe.
You ever have a broken jaw? Never. You that jaw can't. I mean,
I had not had a broken jaw. Luckily, knock on something.
Steel chin.
Well, what would it take for me to why would? Hopefully, as a 36-year-old man, I wouldn't break my jaw right now. Like, what would? I mean, I'd have to someone would have to knock me out. I guess.
hey, you know what? You Chopper and Pistol go bopping around town and start running your mouth to the wrong person and get that shit slapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I'm respectful.
Billy comes to town.
That Roto-Rooter guy, maybe my favorite guy that's ever come to your house.
Yes. I had a Roto-Rooter guy here, got done with the show last week, popped down, and he instantly asked me, "Oh, you just get done with the show with Pat?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, man, of course."
Am I
And
paying
then
you
he
by
just-
the hour here? Or?
And he kept talking about, he was great. He's an avid consumer of the show. So, yeah, it was cool. He's a big Pat McAfee guy.
Hey, we're big Roto-Rooter guys. Those are our people.
I'm surprised he didn't show up in your studio up there. He was like, I'm looking for a pipe up here.
Is this? I smell some cigars. I saw you like cigars, AJ. Not Pat's type of cigars, but I get it. Oh yeah, you're all set, man. All right.
Butts into the show.
Let me sound here real quick. Yeah, Clay Matthews doesn't normally do that, by the way.
I wish there was a platform he could come on and like talk about it.
Maybe we should. Maybe I'll send a text out. Yeah, you're right.
There we go.
That was a missed opportunity. I should have realized that when I saw the tweet yesterday.
Yes, that's the guy we should have had on. We'll ask him about why he attempted to block a punt in the Pro Bowl against me, and then we'll talk about the all-decade team being a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, you guys can converse over that. I guess so. I know he posted all of his stats and everything, which are unbelievable.
Very
But
good.
like the only thing I would tell him is like, hey, man, let me do that for you. Let somebody else do that for you. Like you don't have to do that.
Well, nobody else has done it. That's why he felt his need that he had to. By the way,
Okay.
when he listed that stuff off, I forgot. And then you know why? Because there's nobody in the Clay Matthews batter's box swinging at shots for the guy.
Nope.
I think he got fed up, and maybe people who should be giving him a little bit more respect in the media.
Who? Me?
Maybe he's like, AJ Hawk even has a fucking show and doesn't even talk about how good I was back in the day. I would assume if you get to a point where nobody is giving you credit, you're going to, at some point, especially when you're in quarantine and locked down, you're like, you know what? I'm fed up with it. I'm just going to copy and paste my Wikipedia accomplishments, put them out there. That's exactly what he did. And I appreciate that. I like that move. Because if nobody's, toot-tooting your train, sometimes you got to get in that son of a bitch and toot-toot yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's okay. I guess now I look at it a little different now. Yeah, I'm okay with it, I guess.
Like, for instance, AJ, I think you should be a Hall of Famer.
Okay. That's very nice of you.
See, Clay Matthews has nobody doing that for him.
I think he does. I think he will have plenty of people doing that for him whenever he's 5 years removed from the league. He's still going to play. I don't think he's done.
He needs people doing it now for him. He needs it
Well,
now.
now he does. Now we got a good chunk of time here on this show, on this platform, pumping him up. But yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm going to reach out. I think he would come. He doesn't do a whole lot of media.
No, that's why,
things.
by the way.
He would love it, though. I think he'd have a lot of fun.
He and I were on the same Senior Bowl team. No big deal. We won.
You guys won the game?
Yeah, go
That
South.
Senior Bowl game means a lot, doesn't it?
What's that? No, that Senior Bowl was they
The
won.
week means a ton. Like
gotta-
what the guys practicing against each other. The game means 0. Don't the scouts leave before the game even starts?
There was, it was an interesting experience. There was never a field for me to kick on, because there's only one field, and they practice on the entire field. So I would kick before the practice when there was. It was much like social distancing time. There was nobody in the stadium other than the snapper, and the holder was Thomas Morstead. He had never held before, so I go to the Senior Bowl for my only NFL audition. The holder, Thomas, at that time could not catch a football. So I mean, my holder was, and there was nobody. My Senior Bowl experience was much different, I think, than a lot of people. But I think a lot of people enjoyed the hell out of it, like the Clay Matthews, the Cushings. There was a lot of dudes. Feely, I believe, was there. There was a lot of dudes from USC there. Pat White obviously got the MVP of the game. It was awesome to watch the practice because it was like I was watching, really good practice again. And there was a couple times where I would, toe drag swag in the corner whenever the long snapper was throwing me the ball because there's nothing else for us to do for 3 hours. And one team told me that they didn't like that I was goofing around catching the ball. And I'm pretty happy I didn't go to that fucking team because they would have had a lot on their hands if they would have brought me in. They were mad about that. I mean, so that was my Senior Bowl experience. They wanted to put me in the Hall of Fame this year, I think, from what I've been told. There's a chance I'm going to go into the Senior Bowl Hall of Fame. And I did terrible in the Senior Bowl. So
Is there a Senior Bowl Hall of Fame, really?
I think they're trying to build the Reese's Senior Bowl thing. I think they are. It was overall cool experience getting to meet all the players, and there was a lot of situations. For me, though, football-wise, it wasn't the best, but I could see how people would love it.
So you were kicking and punting there?
No, just field goal kicker. Thomas Morstead, the punter for the Saints, was the punter there.
Huh.
Yeah, I was in the Senior Bowl as a kicker, all-time leading scorer at West Virginia. Couldn't make it to the Combine. It's a shame.
Well, how many kickers and punters do they invite to the Combine usually?
Well, a lot. Yeah, and they all stunk.
Well, hey, it's good. You didn't have to go through the Combine then. You didn't have to waste 3.5 days of your life.
True. Amen. And I think it was saw right through me with those questions and answers that they give. You know what I mean? What do you like to do? I like to work hard.
There's some big names in this Senior Bowl Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Senior Bowl Hall of Fame is a big deal. It's a big deal. That's why whenever I heard about it, I was like, I'm not the right guy. I didn't really do anything in that game.
Wait, do you have to play well in the Senior Bowl, or do you have to have a good NFL career to get in the
I would assume you're just alumni of the Senior Bowl. Does that make sense? Like, I got to meet a lot of people at that Senior Bowl. They were very, very cool players. You know what I mean? It was an awesome thing. The guy who was the special teams coach for the Tennessee Titans, his name's Nate. He was with the Jaguars at the time. He was the assistant special teams coach, but the head special teams coach got fired, so we didn't even have a special teams coach. The assistant special teams coach was running the thing. His name was Nate. He was the Tennessee Titans special teams coordinator who I ran that fake against. And if you see me get on the sideline when I stick the ball out, that was him standing right there. That was my Senior Bowl coach. And every time after the game, we'd always chit-chat. Before the game, we'd always chit-chat, And he actually, I think he drops an F-bomb on me while I jog by him in that Tennessee Titans run game. Then when we kick an onside kick against him after the game, he found me and we had so there's great relationships built there at the Senior Bowl, I think. But for me, I played like doo-doo in that thing. Did you play in none of them, huh?
I did not go to the Senior Bowl.
Why not? Were you not invited, or you didn't want to go? A lot of people not a lot of people, but people turn down that type of stuff.
I didn't want to go.
You were picked 5. I guess it didn't matter.
Well, I was gonna go. I was 100% willing to go, and yeah, my agent was like, you know, I don't think you need to go risking getting hurt or whatever. I said, all right, well, if you don't think so. And then I saw some coaches that coached. I don't know what coaches were coaching the Senior Bowl when I was there, but when I would interview with, I remember one of the teams that coached. I'm not sure which one. They're like, well, where were you at the Senior Bowl? And I was like, I don't know. Like I'm still in school. Like I went to class. I didn't go to it. Like, you really missed out on a lot of great teaching that we had there. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess if you draft me, you could teach me those things again.
The Cincinnati Bengals special teams coach, Darren.
Yeah, I like Darren a lot.
I love Darren. Cincinnati Bengals was the North coach. Okay, so they were the North coach. The Jacksonville Jaguars were the South coach. So one day during the Senior Bowl, you go and meet with the other team's coaches because every other team has got a chance to go to your practice and like talk to you at practice, except for the other team's coaches, right? They don't get a chance. So you have one day where you go meet with them. And I sat down with Darren, and Darren said to me, he said, so are you a kicker or are you a punter? Because nobody in the history of the NFL has ever been able to do both, and I'm going to assume that you won't be able to do both. So are you a kicker or a punter? And I was like, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. And he was like, well, you're at the Senior Bowl to be a kicker. So if I were you, I would never punt a football again. I would focus 100% on kicking, and I would put all my eggs into the kicking basket. And I was like, you got it, man. You know, okay, that's what I'm going to do. That's smart. So I literally went back and just trained kicking. And then the Colts put me through a workout, asked me to kick field goals, and then they had me punt a little bit. And then draft day comes. It's like, hey, we're drafting you to punt. And I was like, I was told by another guy never to do that again. So I guess we got to get to it. So we played them in the preseason that year. Cincinnati Bengals was always our 4th preseason game. So I go jogging on that field. I could not fucking wait. I mean, I could not wait to talk to that guy. And he and I have grown a friendship because we play every year. And it all started with me basically telling him, like, hey, thanks for telling me to never punt a ball again, you motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? He is a good guy. There's a guy that should be a head coach, by the way. He was wrong with me, but he was right in where he was coming from. I was kicking field goals at the Senior Bowl. Everybody thought I was going to be a kicker. It would be a smart move to just get into the NFL before I want to do anything else. He didn't know that Bill Polian was like, I saw him. Tom Telesco was like, I saw him warming up at the Meineke Car Care Bowl. He can punt, no problem. So I think that's a guy that might get head coaching consideration at some point.
I think he's been talked to. He's been rumored to have. I think the Bengals may have even interviewed him for their head coaching position. He is really, really good.
Really
good. I sat in every special teams meeting with him. I played a tiny bit of special teams. I always had to practice it with him, but I loved it. Like Darren would make awesome, like funny,
awesome,
sarcastic jokes in our special teams meetings, and the whole room was basically asleep, and I'm the only one there paying attention, taking notes, and I'd be like, yeah, good one, Darren. And he would like appreciate that somebody was paying attention and getting his good material.
He always has a visor. You'll see him on the sideline of the Bengals game. He always has a visor. He has really good hair. He doesn't have a headset. He like actually goes on the field and like coaches people up. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. And now he was wrong completely.
It's crazy. He's most special teams coaches are somewhat crazy, especially on game day. Darren he takes pride in that, but he's weird. He's a great mixture. He's crazy and motivator, but he's a great like technical teacher, and he doesn't make you do stupid things just to do stupid things like a lot of special teams coaches will make you do. Like he'll compress drills, not make you run as much, but still be physical. Like I give him a ton of credit. I think he will be a head coach someday.
I think so too. He's really good, and I love that he told me never to punt a ball again, and I went on to be the punter of the decade by Pro Football Focus. I think the show's over, huh?
Yeah.
Are we just gonna end it like right now?
Yeah, you guys doing Office Olympics later today?
We're doing one this week, 2 this week, I think. We're doing 24-hour treadmill push by Turtleneck Tone. That's happened on Thursday. Can't wait for you to
wait. So 24 hours. So if we're filming and doing all this, are you guys in shifts to go watch them? Because you're not going to stay up for 24 hours.
Turtleneck Treadmill Tone is going to start at noon, I believe, on Thursday. Is that accurate, Diggs?
Yeah.
On noon Thursday, and then he's going to go to noon Friday. And if he gets to 35 miles, he will make $100 a mile that he's been up to that point. And if he gets past 40 miles, it'll be doubled. So if he gets to 40 miles, that's $8,000, obviously. 45 miles, $9,000. If he gets to 50 miles, that'll be $10,000. This is all happening because Diggs, after learning about David Kilgore running 100 miles in 17 hours, 47 minutes, and 47 seconds, started doing the math in his head. And he said he could do 48 miles in a day, no problem. He walked this weekend. He did 12 miles in 4 hours. He's on pace to really get going and do this well. So we put him to the test. Office Olympics. We'll raise some money for the people in the comment section of the Twitch stream. That'll be 24 hours straight, and also potentially have to drive him to the hospital. But the boys in the office will be in shifts sitting next to Turtleneck Treadmill Tone to make sure he's getting through this in a beautiful fashion.
Look at Zeke with the slow
That's Foxy.
zoom in on
That's
it.
Foxy. Have a little respect for Foxy back there. Foxy.
Foxy, my bad.
But you're 100% right. That is the face of a man who is regretting every single thing he's ever said.
24 hours straight. Like, have you ever stayed up for 24 hours straight?
No,
dude?
I can't.
No, he physically can't. He's got a heart problem.
You gonna get some PEDs for this?
That's
No,
a
I
good
mean, I
gift
could-
right there, by the way. You just look down in despair. Yeah. Are you going to get on PEDs?
Like what?
Meth.
G Fuel? Meth?
No, I can't.
G Fuel, yeah.
Toss in the
Drink G-
Adderall.
My heart would come through my chest. if
Yeah,
I
he's
did
got a bad heart. Guy's got a bad heart.
Do you really? You got a pre-existing condition?
that. Yeah,
What's going on with you?
it's called pericarditis.
Never heard of it?
It's when the
Nope.
lining around the heart swells, so it feels like you're having a heart attack, but you're not really. So it's not really
Oh
a big deal.
man.
Yeah.
So this was a big deal celebrating your 32nd birthday.
It
or whatever
was.
Yeah, it's a big deal. He can't do Jaeger bombs, can't do any types of bombs. He has to get it with ginger ale.
So you can't do any kind of caffeine?
No, not really.
Nah, it doesn't do caffeine, but
What does it do? Make your heart race really fast?
swell up, actually.
Yeah.
And on Thursday, he's going to be going for 24 straight hours. By the way, I have told him on numerous occasions here,
I'll be fine.
none of us are forcing Diggs to do this. This is a Diggs
Idea.
stay at home to the dome, fun run, COVID-19 awareness run. Is that right? What's it called?
I think that was it.
30,
that was it.
35, 36 is the goal, but if I get to 26.2, I think we'll be very happy.
Marathon?
Yeah.
Is that
Better have Diggs sign some. We better get some lawyers to draw up some paperwork.
Well, I'll say it
If
right here.
Tony?
I'll say it right here. If something bad happens to me, no, I will not sue. My family will not sue.
I don't know if that holds up in court, man.
It does. He just said it. He was not being
Legally binding.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's legally binding.
I don't know.
I'm just
They
saying.
did the same thing with the kid I tackled out in Tahoe who had him on camera. And I heard from a couple of different people that may not hold up.
I'll sign something.
Somebody on camera saying like, "Hey, I won't sue you." That has to hold up.
Does it?
Yeah, it's literally
Prenups don't, like signed prenups don't hold up sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, but that can be forged. You don't know who's doing what. There's an entire thing. This is a dude on camera wearing an incredible turtleneck with a good beard and a haircut, signing the back of a piece of paper after saying
That's just scribbles. That doesn't count.
that doesn't look like
Well,
his name
okay.
at all.
Are you aware of Prince Andrew, who is pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell in the background, and the one underage girl with his arm around her? And he was caught up in the Epstein scandal, and he said, "How do you know that's me? That's not like people can do all kind of stuff with Photoshop. That's not me."
I mean, there are deep fakes. I agree, but ain't nobody deep faking Diggs. This entire thing, by the way, will be what they show in court. This entire thing, and Diggs will probably win. But Diggs will probably win.
Diggs' family will win.
Nah,
Coach ain't gonna sue. That ain't,
No way.
I will tell you one thing I know about the DeGilio family. They are not bringing the legal world into anything.
No.
Okay.
Closet. Skeletons.
Is that what's your last name?
DeGilio.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
DeJulio.
Don't have to spell it out for you.
I'm sorry, we can't all be Hawk.
or
No, man.
Bopper.
Where you?
name.
Wait, where's Diggs? Where are you from, Diggs?
Pittsburgh. Come on. East Hills of Pittsburgh. Plum Borough.
Gotcha.
Come on, you followed my career.
Well, I watched a lot of your tape from high school. I mean, I only saw the field and the stadium. Seemed like a real
Oh,
good
you saw
environment.
Mustang Stadium?
Somebody in. Have you seen Mustang Stadium?
Where is that? Which one is that?
All right, show's over. Show's over.
Look good, feel good. Feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good.